The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
This is the Mad Marv Comedy Lounge. Trap comedy at its finest. Where if you can't slang yourself, you might as well hang yourself. This is also where you can turn yourself into dope and you become the real man. Whoa, yeah.
First I hit 'em, and then I let 'em. Then I remix, rewind, then I wear 'em. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to another episode of the Mad Marv Comedy Lounge. Missing Mad Marv temporarily. He'll be in. You know, he's doing some construction shit now. You know that, Packy?
Yeah, man. I saw him with his hard hat on, singing Macho Man.
Yeah, he got
Macho Man. That was Marv. It was earlier.
He got his little belt on.
Yeah.
Somebody clowned him. What's that little cartoon character name? He's like a construction worker. What's his name?
Mario?
No.
Mario with the little hammer?
No, he got a little yellow hat on. I forget his name. Somebody said it. It was so funny.
Dig Dug? That's what he look like. Oh, man. It got a lot of jokes from Marv right now.
Yeah, anyway, Marv will be in shortly. Bob the Builder. That's what they said Marv looked like, Bob the Builder. So anyway, man, we going to continue with this show. You know, it's the same pretty much format, man. You know, we got a new guest here.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Dr. Pooch.
Dr. Pooch. Not Dr. Seuss, y'all. Dr. Pooch.
There we go.
And we're going to get to the meaning of what he stands for, which is a very interesting and exciting to me. You know, it's for the kids and the parents. And we got Packett over here. He'll be covering the sports. And by the way, how was your week this week, man?
Man, my week was lovely, man. It was kind of slow though because my girl went out of town, went to New Orleans for a minute, but I still had some fun. I found some stuff to do and get into, you know. So
you was missing her?
Yeah, I was, man. I was missing her. I don't know why she left me here broken. No,
you found the angel, huh?
Hey, man, that's my girl.
I'm happy for you. You know, he normally write notes, but, you know, he can't seem to write no notes because she started blowing in his ear and shit like that. So
it's all in my mind right now. I know what's going on.
No, she's all in your mind.
Well, yeah, she's there too.
That's a good thing. She's a cutie pie, Portis. Yeah, we should show her some pictures one day, man.
I'll show you some pictures. I don't know if she want me to put her picture on.
No, we don't want them kind of pictures, man. Just a regular face picture, man.
Oh, yeah. I show Portis a picture of her.
So, Dr. Pooch, tell us about your week, man.
About my week? Man, it's been just whoa. I'm doing a lot right now. Not only my business, I'm starting up another business, man. I'm starting up a daycare.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I'm grinding right now. Like I'm doing, you know, you see me with the hats and the clothing and the books, and you know, I just believe in all of these things, and it comes together. I can't really separate my grind, but man, I'm pulling up everywhere. You know what I mean?
I like
That's
what you
been
got
my
going
week,
on,
like
man.
just
Speaking
pulling
about
up.
these books, man, you was kind of like wrapping it up, man. And I'm just amazed, man, on like the artwork and how professional it looks. But it's some real interesting topics, like this one right here is sugar from nature is always fine. Like vegetables and fruit, healthy choices for kids.
Sugar from nature is always fine.
Yeah.
It's only a hazard when sugar's refined.
Thank you. I got it.
Yeah, I like that.
Superfoods are super fun.
They're super good for everyone.
See, I like that. Whole food better.
Whole food is better, so keep it together.
Okay. All right.
He stood up for himself.
Yeah, he better.
Talk about the bullying issues, and certain things young people go through as far as race is concerned, or
Each character has a different name, right?
There's a Johnny Mustache, or Get Well Johnny. He's the main character, and then Mary Berry. She represents the fruit side.
Okay.
And then Haas Vegetable represents the vegetable.
Are you gonna do like a I won't say comic strip, but like a cartoon for him too?
Ultimately, right now I'm working on the Muppet.
Okay.
Man, I would love to have Johnny Mustache right here as our next guest. You know what I mean? We just put him on the mic and see what he has to say, because really he represents the problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he represents the problem. He represents the vegetable side, fruit side, right? Female, like, fruit side. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's the understanding of that. But he represents the... Man, I see this little kid every day. I pulled up to a daycare just earlier, right? On Slauson. Right. You know what I mean? They opened up. She was actually reading to the kids. So nice. Like, 10 kids around. And they were all on the ground, and she was reading. I'm pulling up with my books. Like, she was, obviously there's nothing like this.
I would love to play the voice for that character.
Man, hey, let's do it.
Hey, man.
That'd be slick, too, to have an interactive book to where, when they flip the pages, you have, like, somebody on some type of recorder to narrate it. Like Will.I.am, he has a new comic book with Marvel. It's an interactive comic book, and the technology is in the ink to where there's an app for it, and when you put your phone and set it on photo, the pages come alive. Like, the certain colors start moving. And it has, like, voices like Snoop Dogg, Rakim, a couple of kind of rappers, and it's a positive thing because it's basically like an infusion with the hip-hop culture, ancient Kemet science, and also, like, the street drug and gang culture of L.A., but it's on a positive tip, man, and I think that's a beautiful thing for any writer of kid books to put real-life situation in a way the kids can understand and to make a better future for tomorrow. But
that's really what I represent in my books, because it's like, look.
I want you to go in more detail about these books, man, because you pointed out some very interesting thing to me, man, and I know you can put it better than me because you just briefed me on this. So I just want you to, first of all, introduce yourself to everybody on in the world, and give them any website or any information that you can get in where they can contact you, and give them a spiel on some how great these books are to me and for kids and for the parents also.
Sure. Well, I'm Dr. Pooch.
Not Dr. Seuss, Dr. Pooch.
I'm Dr. Pooch. So I have a health-oriented children's book series. Can I?
Go ahead.
What? Do we really want to be the first generation that outlives our kids and after they're gone know that that's what we did? Or do we want them to prosper, live healthier and longer? That's not even a question worthwhile to ponder. The answer is obvious. Our kids deserve to be taught health consciousness. Dr. Pooch is like Dr. Seuss on superfoods. And Dr. Pooch says, sugar from nature is always fine. It's only a hazard when sugar's refined. Dr. Pooch is the new Dr. Seuss of our time. I ain't lying. I have a holistic health literacy children's book series that rhymes. Check it out. You can break it apart or keep it together. I heard someone saying that whole foods are better. I asked what are whole foods and no one could answer, so I went to find out way down at the pasture. Here's another one. Superfoods are super fun. They're super good for everyone. To be super smart and just get smarter, you must eat the foods that feed the doctor. In these books, I set aside my best lines, making sure they're applied and stick in kids' minds. By the time kids are done reading this book series, there'll be little health coaches running around the house saying, before food reaches the table, make sure you read the ingredient label, thus making parents accountable to the lessons kids learn. I really covered all angles. This is the first holistic health-oriented children's book series ever created. This is bigger than hip-hop. This is more than entertainment. 1/3 of our children are overweight or obese. That's 1 in 6 in California, and it's all what they eat. So instead of doctors... man, this is... Look, I could go on for hours talking about where we are in children's health, but we are the first generation of parents that's going to outlive our kids. And if we don't do anything, this is bigger than us. This is our future. And what you said earlier, like merging hip-hop and, you know what I mean? They understand. Will.i.am, obviously, understands that hip-hop is our culture, and that is the bridge between, like, Africa and America, or that that vibe, like, of melanated people that, you know what I mean?
I'll go for that, because hip-hop,
you know what I mean?
Hip-hop didn't start in Africa, and basically the only thing out of Africa that is based upon is the sound of the drum. But, I just say that it's something that brothers and sisters here in America created on their own, and we can claim it as our own, so we can't let these other people dictate where it's going to go, because I believe in the last 15 to 20 years that the hip-hop culture has been infiltrated by culture vultures. So they present with their money their narrative on what we are, and it's really sad and sickening that, nobody pries a kid going to school to become a brain surgeon, but, they promote somebody that's a big drug dealer. Kids going to college, you don't give them a nice going away party, but, Ray-Bone coming home from upstate, and you give him a big old bash for coming home. So I just believe that what you're doing is a good thing for the children, because it set the tone for everything. Because I believe if you're health conscious, then you become socially conscious and you make better conscious decisions. Exactly. So even from something like this, I believe that'll lessen the penitentiary growth, because half these damn people committing crimes was kids on sugar, super hyper, so they need something to do, and they done went from sugar to cocaine, and they go rob your ass to get it.
What I was saying earlier when I pulled up on Slauson at the daycare, this kid, Johnny Mustache, his representation in the real world, autistic. You know what I mean? I already peeped it off top. Like, okay, woman was even surprised. Like, oh, you caught that already? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Then the window was broken. She was like, yeah, another kid was like, he's too hyperactive, and he threw a rock or threw something through the window. You know what I mean?
It's all starting with our kids, man.
But it's all related to health, like mental illness.
And diet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was in a meeting the other day for like autism and all of this, and the woman is like, "Well, that's statistically research shows," and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's only 10% of what are you talking about? Like, nah, that's 100% of who you are is you know what I mean."
A lot of cases don't even get diagnosed.
100%.
And they miss a lot of kids.
They say you are what you eat, and you are what you think. And you can't think properly not unless you eat properly.
It's just not possible. So how's she talking about research shows 10%?
The body is like
and then they lock you in the conversation of, the research. You know what I'm saying? Who's research?
Yeah.
Come on, man. It don't even make sense no more.
Our kids are way out. I know you heard about the Madden kid. He won the Madden tournament last year, and this year he lost, and he started killing kids.
Huh? Yeah, he killed 2 people.
So
shot some.
So let's if we probably look up that story, I'll put money right now. Anybody want to bet? I'll put everything in my pocket right now that this kid was on some Ritalin or some
because
type of,
he had a history of mental illness.
Something.
He went to the competition I'm going to win.
He was a white boy.
That's the profile though. Like that's white not, boy on.
That's not saying
on meds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not saying it's based upon a race-based situation. But he so happened to be white, and like a lot of white men.
Every mass shooting has been a white.
Yeah.
boy on meds.
Yeah, on this particular case, though, he was a white boy that was a sore loser.
Yeah.
So he lost. They told him to leave. He came back,
Damn.
by the way, with a pistol that he purchased legally. At least he was responsible enough to get it done the legal way. But he walked in there and shot up a bunch of people, man. One of them, particularly, was a brother that was a high school football star that was a light of his family, so my heart and prayers goes out to the family.
All the families affected.
Yeah, the lost one and the other victims. But going back into just the health of kids and how that would help society, as a whole. But what I really want you to do, man, is give these people your information so anybody can contact you and might want to purchase these books for their classroom, daycare, just have them at home, just to do an interactive family program with their kids, let them know where they can purchase these books at or get in contact with you.
Yeah, go to drpooch.com, DRPOOCH.com. And this is, you saw 5 books. This is a 12-part series. I have titles like Everything is Energy, Water is Life, Allergy Season, Inflammation Nation, Toxic Tales. Like, it goes on and on. I covered every health-oriented topic.
What made you start going into this research about the kids? Do you have any kids yourself?
This was before, I had a kid. Like, I have a 2-year-old right now, but it's
healthiest damn baby on planet Earth, I might add.
Man, but
2 years old can pick the whole goddamn dinner table up.
I'm fighting with his mom right now to because there's so much pressure on a woman, right? So if you raise your child with a certain diet, right? Like feed them exclusive plant protein, right? So vegan, let's just say, right? My child has been vegan, right?
Right.
He's not going to be as big as a child drinking fucking milk all day.
But he'll be stronger.
But he'll be, clearer, sharper, more aware, more, you know what I mean?
What do the doctors have to say about it, though?
We just went to a pediatrician. They were like, yo, great job. This boy is strong. He was fighting us that day because, he didn't like the doctor or whatever.
Right.
And so, man, she was like, whoa, this kid is strong.
Now,
you know what I mean? It took 3 people to hold it. He wasn't even 2 yet. He just turned 2 last weekend.
Told you.
See what I'm saying? So the dude is like, but now the mom, because she saw one of her friends, son that is a little bit bigger. I guarantee you, this boy is on meat and yogurt and you know what I mean.
All the steroids,
right?
All the wrong stuff.
They getting it through that,
exactly.
and he's gonna grow a little bit faster. I was raised like that too. We was drinking milk, but when when I went to see my cousins in Senegal, because my dad is from West Africa, right? When I went to go see them, they was just smaller, because they didn't have that stuff in the diet that I had. But in the long run, it all balanced out.
Off of straight titty milk.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
straight up.
Titty milk. They drink goat milk there too.
Yeah,
but they don't have no antibiotics and all this hormones and stuff. They don't shoot their animals up with that.
We was 11, 12 years old. Till today.
Did your baby get all his injections and everything too? Or did you cut some of those out too?
It's a funny topic to talk about these days because now I'm going out into the world and I'm a public health figure, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's really agendas out here and stuff that people, you know what I mean? So I'm like, how should I even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, go about the situation. They try to shut you down around every corner.
On every corner,
God bless you and try to help figure it out, man. And the thing is this though, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
But I will say this though on the vaccinations, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control,
right,
falsified a study, right? That's why I said whose research can we trust, right? They falsified a study. This is recent. Their senior scientist on the project released the he was a whistleblower, right? So look this up online. You can look it up.
Yeah, I seen
right?
that. 300%. A lot of kids get autism by vaccinations.
There was a 300% increase of the occurrence of autism in young black male children.
Yeah.
After the MMR vaccine.
Wow.
So you see what I'm saying?
Then you got to
something's
go
going
into
on.
the agents in there, you know.
But then they falsified it, and they
have
and then they still
mercury.
put it out.
They
and
have
added more.
the detergent of formaldehyde and other things in there. You know, even with the flu shots, you know, they'll tell you that these agents is to preserve it. But, you know, the doctors will come out and tell you that there's no way if you get a flu shot that's going to help you not catch the flu, because every flu to come out is a whole different strand. So
Exactly.
you can't give them an old strand to prepare the body for the new one.
And I just heard that Kaiser, I'm looking for the research right now, but Kaiser has a scandal too, where they were putting out bad batches of vaccinations in Inglewood, and this the shit is out there.
Well,
I'm looking for it right now. Like I just heard that.
It's not like
from a reputable
it's
source.
not a wool pull over anybody's eyes no more, man, than blatantly, man, it's an all-out attack on us. So, you know, right now, all it is they give us distractions so we don't understand what's really going on. Because just like you mentioned before, that even just, you know, your basic diet for your son is hard on the mother, because it's based upon her upbringing and what she eat. This is where a lot of things come from. Like a lot of us will say, well, diabetes, high blood pressure, rheumatism runs in my family. So you make it seem like these things that are curable. No, you make it seem like these things are curable. It's just a part of your genetic makeup, which is really not.
Exactly.
The fact behind it is that your family been eating the same garbage for 9 generations, so you all develop these symptoms, you know? So if anytime you can make the connection, you can change your diet, and you don't have to be, like he said, one of them statistics.
There's a study. If anybody out there or anybody in this room took a psychology class in college, right? They always study, like, I forget his name, Pavlov, or, you know, one of those dudes, but they had some dogs, let's say, right, some puppies, right, and they would feed those puppies nothing but what they should be eating, right, and the other ones like some processed, you know, garbage stuff, right, and they saw, like, generation after generation, right, they saw what happened to these, you know, to the animal breed, like to the breed, you know what I mean,
right,
and they saw, like, by the 3rd generation the breed couldn't even reproduce itself. Wow. You see what I'm saying?
And that's what they're trying to do to us.
Right,
that's
now.
What they're trying to do.
That's where we are.
That's where we are with those GMOs and the genetically modified
That's where
food.
we are.
Yeah.
They showed you it, like, in school. Like,
and
you
then
didn't think it was about you.
Going deeper from that, man, I mean, you know, they, with the fashion and just the lifestyle of, you know, same-sex marriages or the LGBT community, that's all a part of the plan, man. And, I mean, this is no knock to people who prefer to live that lifestyle. I'm just speaking about what it is, you know, because what I've understand by, you know, working in the hair salon, dealing with people, you know, from the gay community is most of them are enslaved and trapped into that lifestyle. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of them were violated as kids, you know, and then a lot of them who are sexually confused as teenagers, they get, you know, shit promoted to them in videos and the TV, man. So, you know, I can't, like, hate the person because, you know, I run into a lot of beautiful people that are gay, so that's their preference. And I'm saying that to say that when you meet people like that, love the person, even if you condemn the act, you know, because sometimes, like, I mean, crack, you meet a crackhead, you know, they choose to smoke crack, but you got to go beyond the social circumstances will force the person to do that. Same thing, you have 12 to 15, 19-year-old girls out here, which to me are babies because I'm 50. They out here prostituting, so you can't just, like, condemn them. You have to go beyond the circumstances what made them out there. Because I don't know. Most of the girls I know, when they grow up, their dreams at 5 or 6 or 7 is to be a princess or a queen. I don't hear like a lot of girls at 5 and 10 saying I want to be a stripper or a pole dancer or I want to be a prostitute. I don't hear that.
But that's what they're promoting right now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
everything is, they got to twerk dance. They got to do this. They got to do that.
The main factor that's promoting this, man, is the love of hip hop, the NBA households, and all of this. Because, you know, I said and watched it briefly. I don't hear none of these sisters who's supposed to be prominent figures in the entertainment field. I hear none of them talk about jobs. I hear none of them talk about college education. True. I don't see any of them cooking or cleaning or sewing or any of this. I don't hear them talk about the importance of relationships, not just with the opposite sex, but the relationship that you have with yourself. I never hear them talk about any form of spiritual connection with God, whether it's Christian, Buddhism, or whatever it might be. All I hear them doing is talking a lot of shit, fighting, drinking, bashing men, and having sex with homosexuals. I don't see these as any platform that young kids can draw upon to make their life better. I don't see it. Same thing. I love Beyonce. You know, as far as like her being successful in her work ethics on how hard she worked to prepare for a performance. But I have to ask Beyonce, now that she is a mother, what type of image are you portraying for young women out there? Because I ask a lot of women, I love Beyonce. She empowers women. She makes me feel liberated. So I ask these women, how would you feel if you just walked up and seen your daughter doing Beyonce dance steps in front of young boys her age or older men? And then they shut up. So what I'm saying is, you got enough money from shaking your ass, Beyonce. Now it's time for you to do something for people who look up to you by portraying a better image, you know? Because we have to take control over the image, going back to hip-hop and just our overall culture, because the image has been portrayed of us in a false sense, and you have a lot of young people who are confused about life, living to the narrative from somebody else's perspective.
Yep, everything's watered down now.
So let me put a little health tidbit in there. So on everything that you just said, like Monsanto just lost. There's a big case right now. If y'all saw it, there was a big settlement, $289 million settlement for this a brother actually.
Oh yeah,
he was
cancer.
Yeah, he got
terminal cancer.
Yeah, he got
I
cancer.
talked about it on one of our other shows.
Right. So glyphosate is the key, you know, that's been an issue, the glyphosate, right? So if I'm not mistaken, and you know, I apologize if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Glyphosate was a big problem back in the day because it was off of these farmlands, right? These big, huge, if you know, middle America, like them huge farmlands, right?
Montana, South Dakota,
right? They were leaking into the like down south. It was leaking into the Mississippi River, right? On these couple, you know, particular farms. They were all like bleeding out, you know what I mean? Dumping the waste, the glyphosate, right?
Right.
Into the Mississippi River. Now, scientists were studying the wildlife up and down the Mississippi River, right? Where or let's say down or wherever it was washing to and affecting, right? The fish, they were getting like all types of diseases and couldn't reproduce with the thing. The frogs, right, were you know, their sex organs were, you know, just getting smaller and like couldn't, you know what I mean? They couldn't function. The birds, right, that fed off the wildlife around there, they were like singing the male songs and the female. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a gender bender. Glyphosate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a gender bender.
That's what they've been doing slowly but surely.
So now it's in our food. And we have a case. Now we have a case to say, okay, something is up with this. So if you're not aware about your health, like that's the only discussion that's worth having. You know what I mean? It's if you're not talking about your health, what are you talking about? And health.
You're not talking about your life,
health.
Most definitely.
Yo.
Health is number one.
You know, and
without health, you're not here.
What you call that stuff? Glyphosate.
Look it up.
Man,
glyphosate.
I think a lot of youngsters out here in L.A. is drinking that shit in that Gatorade. Just the other day, I seen this one youngster getting punked in the back. Somebody slapped him upside his head a few times, and, you know, he stuck his chest out and say he gonna call his sister.
Oh, man.
You know, that kind of like fucked me up, like, you know. But then when his sister got there, she looked like, what's Ray's name? She looked like Baby D with French braids. She had tattoos on. some Lokes and a Pendleton, and, you know, to tell you the truth, I like, shit, if I get in some goddamn trouble, I need Baby D number 2 because she looked like a linebacker.
Hey, I said this stuff before, and all I got was arguments from people offline. They've been giving us something, maybe not that one, but something close to it, because all of a sudden it's just flooded like that. It's kind of crazy.
Well, you know, the rates of everything are off the roof.
Man, I see grown-ass men with polished toenails and fingernail polish on nowadays like it's a fashion statement.
But, I mean, also our media has to play with it. Also, True. You know, what responsibility does the Vatican have to how many thousands upon thousands of, you know what I'm saying? A straight protected organization. It's multi.
The Vatican has been participating in all of these things for thousands of years, you know. But my whole point is this. Nowadays, a lot of things, you know, with technology and, you know, the internet, you know, the media, all of this stuff, a lot of things are just being exposed, man. So, you know, I think that that's a good thing, but the bad thing is I think that they use these same things, this exposing thing, they use it for distraction. You know what I'm saying? It's like we get exposed to things like, wow, this is what's going on.
Trump is our biggest distraction right now.
Then it's like, Trump is niggas' biggest distraction because they give all their energy to him. You can't control that. See, your life is fucked up, so stop for a moment and get your life together. You know what I'm saying? Controlling and paying attention what he got going on in the White House ain't got a goddamn thing to do with the lights being off and roaches free to run around in your house.
And your health.
You know? Yeah, well, I mean, if you got roaches and the lights off, you know, the roaches eating better than you. You know, you got open cans of Spam and shit like that. But, you know, you got on Gucci shoes and shit like that. But you don't care about feeding your kids potted meat as long as you got Louis Vuitton on your feet, and it's a crying damn shame.
If you're worried about your health, right, in a real way, like prioritize yourself, then you wouldn't sit in front of the TV and watch Trump, right?
Yeah, you have your fat ass on the treadmill.
Because physiologically, you can't be mad and digest your food at the same time. That shit'll fuck you up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So as a nation, like, this shit is backwards. We have to start, and that's why I write children's books. So we have to start from somewhere like totally new because we're 80s, you know, 80s baby.
I love it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right now, we gonna go to a commercial break. If anybody want to call and chime in and talk to Dr. Pooch or add to the topics that we're talking about, feel free to call in at 323-293-3375. If you ever want to catch us live at morrismedia.com. So until we be back, just sit tight and relax. Well, we back, y'all. Back on air. We had a real nice discussion. If any of you caught it before we went to break, we want to switch topics just for a moment. You know, kind of like Infused, we'll be talking about distractions and things that we as a people really need to be focused on. But there's a story that many of you may be familiar with about a shooting in a Chicago gas station, I presume, where one single gunman walked to the door and he shot at 4 men. I presume he hit all 4 of them, but he killed 2. But if you have any video footage, if you could pull that up for us, man, this is one of the coldest, horrific acts that, you know, you can ever think possible, you know, for him to just stand over these helpless men in this small little tight area, you know, in the pay area of a gas station, and just dump the whole gun out on them, man. I mean, it was very beautiful to me, man, and it showed you the level of self-hatred has increased, not decreased, and this is something that we have to fight with, whether if it's influence from an outside element or we just internally hate each other. It's something that we as a people really have to come to terms of dealing with, because just like I say, while you focus on Donald Trump and his bullshit, or, you know, white people don't like you because of this, Mexicans don't like you because of that, we have to really look at ourselves on who we are. We got to step outside of ourselves to view ourselves the way everybody else could. And I think if we could do that, we'll possibly change a lot of our course of action towards each other, especially, you know, the blatant disrespect, you know, of women and men. And I mean, you know, I'm a comedian. I, you know, sometimes get vulgar, you know, but I only speak in relations to the environment and things that we can relate on. So it's nothing personal, okay? But what I'm saying is, you know, we personally don't really respect, the love, and honor each other as we should. So to say that, who's going to love us better than us? If we treat each other like shit, other people would treat us less than shit, you know? If we love, care, protect, and support one another, then we don't have to worry about nobody else, you know? So, Portis, you got that footage? Okay, well, whether she get the footage or not, I'm quite sure everybody have seen about that. And like I said, I mean, you really struck a chord to me, you know, being a man. You know, I'm 50 now. I'm a lot older. I don't think that I'm more of a target than I used to be, but I have young sons out here, and I mentor a lot of young men and young women out here, you know, that I would really hate for anything like that to happen, you know, spoil their dreams. If they doing the right thing, they trying to pay for gas and they in the line of a fire, even though maybe this asshole did something to somebody that was wrong. But, you know, you have innocent people in the line of fire and they just get their life snuffed out like it was nothing, and life become meaningless, you know, where a Bentley and a gold chain or a fat sack of weed is more meaningful than life itself. And I just don't like the way that it's going in the community, man. So yeah. What you got to say about that, Packy?
Man, like I said with my What's What, when I tell you these kids about how stupid things are just to elevate something from nothing, we need to be all worried about basically like what this man Pooch is on here about is our health. You know, telling people about these GMOs, about stop eating these fruit, they're seedless fruits, they're not for you. Get the original fruits and vegetables. Look into GMOs and not consuming this stuff into your bodies. You know, that's the main thing we need to focus on, health, because without health, none of us will be here. And I'm glad that this man right here is taking the time to reach out to our children, because our children, without our children, we have nothing. We really have nothing. We have to stand behind them, or we all fall to the wayside. No. Basically, there it is right there. No. And being health conscious is the best thing, man. It's like
we have to realize, right? We've come to a point in time where we have all the evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like Martin Luther King on record. Like we know that that was the government. We know that, you know, Black Wall Street, that was the government. We know that, like, okay, how much evidence do we really need at the end of the day, right? For there to be a face. But check.
No, the evidence you really need is that for most of us, they found you in your land, they beat your ass and brought you over ship over here and forced you into hard labor. That's all the evidence that you really need right there.
That's one narrative. But there was also millions of black that looked just like you and me and that were here already too.
Yeah, and they was free.
Right.
But they also enslaved the black Africans. So I'm just talking about when the institution of permanent slavery was established, which, by the matter of fact, the very first legal slave owner, this is history for y'all people, the very first legal slave owner in this country who institutionalized permanent slavery was a black man by the name of Anthony Johnson. Not AJ the comedian, but Anthony Johnson, a slave owner. So I'm saying this to say that we've been behind the A-ball since they brought us here. Okay, so
but check, everything is like within context too, because you know
this
slavery,
is going back to health now, brother. Okay?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this: what you saying?
Yeah,
they brought us here. They didn't bring our diet here.
Absolutely.
So on the slave plantation, we had to succumb to eating the worst that the slave master gave us and turn it into the best that we can make it in order for us to eat and digest for survival. Now, coming out of that, okay, when you had the sharecropper area, we still was making some money, but we lived in poor conditions, so our diet was just as poor as our condition. You know, so we left the sharecropper area and moved to the industrial Midwest, you know, when they started flooding the factories in Detroit and, you know, in Illinois and all these places. But it's the same thing, you know, it's that the area and everything that we wanted, we got a little bit more, but our diet didn't really change that much.
And that was social. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
This is social engineering.
Yeah.
That was made to be like, check it out. Not only that happened to black folks, but the folks that were in
Irish,
in Mexico, like the Aztecs,
yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. The Aztecs, General Cortez came into from Spain, came into Mexico, right? Where the Aztecs were.
Right.
And they had amaranth. Amaranth is like a grain, like a tiny little grain. 90% protein, huge, like big. They used to offer it to the gods. You know what I mean?
Right.
And ceremonial and eat it, and you know what I mean. Make candy with that was their staple. Cortez came up in there and said, "Look, I will chop off anyone's hand if I see y'all offering any of these grains to y'all people." You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We've been It's not. That's a ploy. That's the main ploy of white supremacy. It's to detach you,
destabilize
from your ancestral rhythm. You feel me?
But and indoctrinate you into there.
And make you think that what they have is much better. So you go and you eat sugar and you get sick.
Yeah, but then they take all your culture.
All these programs, the GMO program.
Yeah, they take all your culture.
Hitler.
Yeah, well, it's the thing that they run all the time. They take all your culture, anything of benefit for themselves, and they have you working for them to pay for shit that you own. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's why they coin the dollar. This is why when they come and they either spread diseases or they kill one group, turn them against the other. But once they get established, the first thing they want to do is indoctrinate you. This is why they bought the missionaries and they bought missions. You know what I'm saying? Well, mercenaries. They bought the missionaries and the mercenaries. You know, they bought the people in here first to kill you, and then they bought the people in later to later on, you know, patch up your wounds and treat you nice and say they were civilizing you. But once you got comfortable with them, now they got you and your son, you know, with your butthole hurting because they running up in you. So it's all about conquering and destroying the cultural identity of any people. Once you do that, then you control them. You know, once a person knows anything about who they are or their culture, there's no way that you can control that because it's nothing that you gave them or nothing you created.
So there's a president right now in Ethiopia. New president. This dude is changing. He's like squashing beefs from like multi generations, right? Eritrea, all of that. Opened up the, you know what I mean? The whole coastline, right? So the South, the Emirates, wanted to come in and donate like $30 million to create a mosque over there, right? Or an institution for Islam. He said he was talking to his people, his Ethiopian people. He said, I think we need to, as fast as we can, learn Arabic so we can reteach Arabic to these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, meaning not only you can't come in with your fake version of Islam, right? In Ethiopia, we taught y'all Islam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
right?
that's what a lot of people don't understand. You know, like the Arabic language, which is an ancient form of the Hebrew language. It's a modern form of the Hebrew language because it's a Semitic language. But a lot of people think that Swahili, right, from Africa, they think that Swahili is a derivative of the Arabic language, but it's just the opposite. The Arabic language is a derivative from the Swahili language. Swahili is the original before Arabic. So a lot of people get that really mixed up, you know, because they don't understand that the Arabian Peninsula, as is the state of Israel, which is originally Palestine. When you look at the geographical map of the world, that's on the African plate. So all of that is a part of Africa. They renamed it the Middle East, which makes no sense at all because either you are in the middle, either you south, north, east, or west. So how can it be, or what part is the Middle East? It's
Middle East of Great Britain. That was renamed.
Yeah, but it really don't even make any sense when you talk about the geographics of the map and the original land. Now, they had to name it the Middle East to detach it away from its original continent, which is Africa, which, by the way, the original name of Africa is Akin Bulan. Okay, so the richest part of that, where all the diamond and gold is at, they had to give it another name. So the rightful people that own the land, which is brothers and sisters in America who don't know it, can't claim it.
You know, we have to stop separating like this. Separation is the biggest like ploy. Just like our medicine right now is separated. If we're not talking holistic, so when we talk about, you know, the homosexual community, they're part of our they're part of our, you know, we're with them, right? When we talk about, you know, the gangs, we're with them. They're part of our, you know what I mean? What's going. Everything is going on.
Well, it's most definitely what we need to work on.
We can't separate because...
It's most definitely what we need to work on because there's no way, I don't care how much you love this other man and how many times you kiss him, you'll never produce a child. You know what I'm saying? Because it's unnatural. But
no,
what I'm saying is I'm not hating your act. I'm trying to tell you that you have a higher purpose than lying with another man, okay? So if that's what you want to do, I mean, it's just like somebody smoking weed or drinking. Nobody can tell you that, but that don't mean, like I said, okay, here comes the builder, come on in there. But just like I said, no one can tell you that, but what I'm saying is don't make it a big issue because it's a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't do what you do. And what I'm saying is I met people from the gay community that are very brilliant people. You know what I'm saying? They business-minded, you know. They're very, very sharp-minded people. Okay, so they say so when it comes to certain things can be just as important. Just don't invite me to your barbecues and just don't, you know, stay away from my kids. Because I don't think my kids need to be learning, you know, sex from nobody from that manner. Now, when it comes to taking care of business, when you talk about community or culture, yeah, I can accept your input because you might have some extraordinary things to say. So now that we have Builder Bob back, we're going to let him take over the show. Man. Welcome back to the show, Marv.
What's happening? Shut the fuck up, Packet. I was here 10 minutes ago. I had to get around your big ass.
Hey, we heard you when you came in. He was going dip, 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 dip.
Well, just to update you, man, we going on, you know, how health plays a part in society. We also was just talking about, you know, unifying our people and stop excluding certain people from amongst us
And
when
this
it
is
comes
our,
to things that affect us all.
This is our guest here, Mr. Pooch.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Now, I'm sorry for being late. As you can see, I'm trying to get some more bread. See? So we over here trying to become carpenters and construction workers over here.
Where's your wrench at?
At the Urban League.
Where's your
He
ring?
had his whole belt. He had to take that heavy shit off.
I got a
Look.
whole. Shit, I got a whole tape, everything.
Batman ain't got nothing on you.
Hell no, but I did leave that wrench at your little sister's house. But we're going to get back to the seriousness at hand.
Don't he look just like, what's his name?
Bob the Builder?
Yeah. Bob the Builder.
Yeah. So these are the books. You came up with this book right here, Sugar from Nature's Is Always Fine?
Yeah. Sure.
That's good. Natural sugars.
Natural sugar, yeah.
That's good. Now, did you enjoy yourself on the lounge?
On which lounge?
This is the Mad Marv Comedy Lounge.
Yes,
Did you
yes,
enjoy
sir.
yourself?
Yes,
chopping
sir.
it
Yeah,
up, man.
now we having a good time.
Now, this is what we're trying to do. We want to bring people from the community in here, and whatever they got going on, we want to expose that. And did you draw these pictures as well?
Nah, I didn't. I work with different artists together.
Okay, cool. That's really great. Now, Packett, me and Packett went to the movies this week.
Yeah, and he went to sleep the first 3 minutes in the movie.
Well, fuck
and
it.
then woke up and tried to tell me what the movie was about.
It was whack. It was about some
He
bullshit.
seen it in his dream. Yeah, I said Mar don't normally fall asleep on no movie.
That's what I'm saying. The movie whack. I'm going to sleep. It got air conditioner and everything.
Bro, he sat down, he looked up, I looked up, and next thing you know, he was talking to himself, and I turned around, I thought he was talking to me, because it was only me and him on the row, and he's asleep. Not just sleep, he's snoring.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see a picture of
Deep
him?
snoring.
Oh, you didn't take a
show me
picture,
that
did you?
Oh, my goodness.
You took a damn picture?
I got video.
Now, who are you supposed to be?
Why you didn't get at the parties?
Are you a whistleblower or something?
Man, you
Why you didn't get
See,
at the
obviously, that ought to
parties?
tell you
You're
how good the
insane.
movie was. Wait a minute, Packett. The movie was so good, he had time to be a photographer in this motherfucker. Yeah, right. The movie was whack.
no, you were snoring in the movie.
The movie was called, I'm about to tell you, it was called Axel. It should have been called Waxel. Okay, it's AXL. It's about a robotic fucking dog and a boy. Now, the boy makes friends with an android-ass dog. Okay? It's garbage. Whack. Don't go see it. I wouldn't even stream this shit.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
He didn't get to see the movie, people.
Did you like it?
No, I didn't like the movie.
The dream I had
I
was
didn't
better.
like the movie, but it was.
My question is
it was
before
decent.
before
Hold on,
going
Tiger,
in,
just got a
before
picture.
going
Hold
in,
on,
y'all
hold
thought it
on.
would be cool.
Hold on 1 second. He had a question. What did you say?
I said before going in, y'all thought y'all both agreed like, yeah, this is the one.
No, I was going because it was the middle of the day and it's cool in there. I was going to take me a fucking nap anyway. He said, you going to the movies? I said, yeah. He said, let me go with you. I'm like, all right, then. Cool. I never planned on watching the motherfucker anyway. I was going in there to go to sleep anyway.
He's lying. He told me how good this movie was going to be before
No, I
he
never
got
said
there.
it.
Because he asked
Never
me.
fucking said.
Let me see. He asked me what I thought about the movie. I said, I don't know about no motherfucker, bro. Damn, he had his arms tucked in his shirt,
In his
too.
shirt.
Well, I was asleep.
In
Mar,
his
that's a
shirt.
goddamn shame,
Hey.
Mar.
Well, I'm just
You
glad
look
the
like
people
you
out there
taking
can't
you a
see it.
county jail nap.
As long as the people out there can't see it, y'all don't know what the fuck.
Y'all lucky. I got the video, and you hear him snoring. This was the
We
first
gotta
3
play
minutes.
that.
He didn't
We
even
gotta play
sit
that
down
next
good
week.
before he fell asleep.
I mean, this shit was comfortable at the Baldwin Hills Cinema. It's very luxurious. It's very comfortable in there, and you get your sleep all the way on.
Yeah, they had an AC turn on the right.
Hell,
now.
motherfucker, yeah. Now,
I
he was
didn't enjoy
mad.
the movie because he kept snoring.
Wait a minute, he was mad because his bougie ass. He always go to the bougie ones where they bring the what is it, steak tartare you had to see when you see
Man.
Star Wars.
They
He saw Star Wars. They brought this motherfucker some escargot and some shit. He's sitting there
Yeah,
with
you
Chris
push
Kyle.
the button and they come and
Oh,
serve
hell
you.
yeah,
Yes,
they got
sir.
the
Yes,
legs,
sir.
Black.
That's where
legs
you
lay all
go.
back, look like a lazy boy. And I was gonna go to sleep in that motherfucker. I was scared. I was like, they gonna bring me a quilt because this motherfucker was way
Yeah,
too
they
comfortable.
bring you covers.
Oh, they do. Oh shit.
They got that.
All you have to do is ask.
No,
for
at
it.
Crenshaw, at the bowling, no, you lucky you bring your own popcorn. You gotta sneak it in. We snuck the food in. We snuck in, jambalaya fries I snuck in.
He's making jambalaya fries with some
Hell yeah.
strips. Oh, there we
Goddamn
go,
right. Oh,
Marv at the
where the hell you
movies.
get that
Yeah.
from?
This is Marv at the
This
movies.
is crazy. Well, that's all for the lounge.
Yeah, that's after 2 minutes of getting there. Man, oh my goodness.
I mean,
You know
shit.
what, Packett? I realized why he tricked you into going.
He talks in his sleep.
No.
What kind of shit was I saying? Was I doing this? Was I doing
You
this?
don't wanna
Was I doing this?
repeat
Hold up. Shut the fuck up, Packett. Was I doing it?
No, I got video, so you can hear what you yourself
Oh, we don't
what
have to
you
do
were
all that.
doing.
We don't have to do all that.
Packett, you know the only reason why he wanted you there?
Why?
To protect him while he sleep. You a bodyguard, ain't you?
Hell yeah,
Oh,
look
my
at it.
goodness. I wanted to punch him in his face.
Look like a marshmallow. Look like a damn marshmallow with a Panther hat on. Look at
you. You might get robbed or raped in that goddamn movie theater right there.
He tell all the ladies his stripper name is Schmore. Just call me Schmore.
Marv, you really should tell jokes with that little yellow hat on.
Hey man, see this shit.
They say an old lady on a walker got her wig snatched there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's going down over there. Man.
I'm gonna be honest with you about this construction hat and this belt right here. See, a real woman know what this is. I walked into McDonald's today. They was on me. I mean, I walked in there, them girls looking at me like da 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 da. You hear me, man?
Yeah, you go to Home Depot, you be the man.
Yes, I was the McMahon. You feel me? Yeah. So, you better get you something. They say, you got benefits? I said, I got something that will bend to fit.
That's what it is?
Yeah. But anyway,
not only are you a carpenter, but you're a pipe layer.
Hey. Construction, baby.
Handyman.
I'm ready to build it. You know what I'm saying? They say, if they build it, it will come.
I just can't get off of how I just can't get off of how that hat sit on the top of your goddamn head.
I was amazed that it actually fit.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what it looked like?
You got one of them heads.
What?
It looked like one of my mama's old Tupperware bowls sitting on the top of your damn head.
We used to put that fruit in that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put my Green Bay Packers shit on the side of it.
Oh, okay. That's
speaking
the right
of which,
color.
Yeah, speaking of which.
You got your first sticker on there, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. The union. He got the union.
He got the safety patch.
I'm official like a ref and a whistle.
Yeah, he got the union patch on there.
Right. I can walk on the site like, hey, what? Will you pick that nail up, motherfucker? You see that nail right there? I can do all that shit now. I just can't work for him.
Yeah, he get to supervise the cleaning crew.
Who goddamn hammer is that?
Yeah.
Let's pick that shit up, put it over there.
He supervises the cleaning crew.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, look.
So any brooms left, nails, and shit like that, he's on it.
I walk on it. Let's see, all I can do right now is walk on the side. I've been walking on any side. I just pull up anywhere. I'll be like, you see that fucking 2x4 right there? I'll pick that shit up. And then they get to ask me, well, who are you? We don't pay you to ask questions.
And he ain't even started.
Oh, I ain't even started
yet. He telling the damn supervisor that.
Oh, no shit. I know a little bit. Now, look here. Like with Packett earlier, I was trying to help his ass out.
Here we go.
I pull this shit out to see the goddamn circumference of his fucking belly. That's it. Yeah. And then, I
already knew. I knew it was coming.
So I had to make sure I had to make sure that he had right angle. You know what I'm saying? So I used a goddamn speed square on this fat fuck. You know what I'm saying? So next time you want to take pictures of a motherfucker sleeping and shit,
I put the right angle on your arms.
You better understand who you fucking with, Bob, the goddamn building. Now you see,
there you go.
If you notice, my body is positioned at a 45
Look
degree
at his
angle.
arms. You can't see his arms.
You see, it's a 45-degree angle. You see, perpendicular to the floor. You see that shit?
And that shirt's
look
extra
at the
small.
Symmetry of this nigga
and look at his arms is missing.
Oh yeah, that's because I tuck. That's called an east side tuck and fold.
I see that exit sign.
I did my best, but that is a pitiful fucking picture of me.
Yeah, it really is, Marv.
Wait till y'all see the video next week.
I appreciate you guys' intervention. I'll never fucking fall asleep in movies again. I'll drink coffee and noodles next time I go see the next movie. What's the next movie we're going to see?
Man, I'm not going to the movies that you know.
Come on, Marshmallow.
You don't punish.
Come on, Marshmallow.
You ain't gonna
don't do me like that.
Talking in your sleep again.
Hey, I promise you, Marshmallow. It'll never happen.
You know you look like a tampon with that thing on your head.
I'll bring you some s'mores. Look at it. He's thinking about it. He's like, goddamn.
Yeah, okay.
Fresh ones? You bring me fresh ones.
So, Packett, what's on your what's what since we got like 2 minutes?
2 minutes. What is the Packett's what's wood?
The what's what is, Eddie Murphy is expecting his 10th baby. How old is Eddie Murphy? That's one of your boys.
Old enough to still be stroking.
Man.
Oh, yeah. He gave her more than a Coke and a smile, I'll tell you that.
I need you and Farouk to sign up for the office pool, man. Y'all gotta stop playing. We gonna really get into this. I need y'all to sign up.
Well, as soon as you give me the goddamn code,
I'm gonna come sign you guys up so you guys can just.
Are you getting paid for this?
No, it's not a pay. It's not a paid thing. We're gonna have our own bet though.
Okay, we're gonna sign up.
Have our own bet.
We'll sign up for it.
And moving along, in Connecticut, a white lady claimed that she was raped by 2 black men.
How old was she?
She was 24.
Oh, no, I wasn't in Connecticut.
It was just called a gangbang.
Yeah, but
Packard, I wasn't there. I swear to God, I wasn't.
She was caught lying, and they're giving her a year in jail.
Oh, just a year?
Man, that's a life sentence, man. They
A year, my dear?
They
That's
should have
it?
gave her life.
Man, all these women need to be held accountable for all this stuff they've been doing.
If you're a woman and you claim that a man raped you and he never touched you, they need to give you life, and before they sentence, you owe them some pussy.
Hey,
you really do, you know?
Well, that way we can balance
Fuck
out
you
your
talking
karma.
about I rape you and I ain't never seen a pup.
Yeah, you
panty
owe me
line.
some shit.
Yeah, at least some head or something. You owe them something.
Speaking of TV and movies, Ken Barris, he's sold ABC on the remake of Bewitched, and she's going to be a black lady.
Who the fuck gonna play Tabitha?
It's going to be a black lady, so it's going to be a black Tabitha.
Oh, for real?
Yes, sir.
Tabitha is a black name.
I was gonna say.
Now
that
she gonna
sounds
be a
like-
stripper?
Yeah.
I hope not.
She gonna be doing magic, or she
hope
gonna work
not.
at
But
Magic
you know,
City?
You know, since she's black, they're gonna put some type of twist on it. It's probably gonna come from a poor.
Are they gonna put a
Have
twist?
a baby mama.
Packet. Are they gonna put a twist or a twerk on it? We gotta understand this shit, because if it's gonna be witch, you know what I'm saying? I spend my goddamn money on cable. You know what I'm saying?
But guess what? California is the first state to eliminate bail. So
Bail?
now you can go to jail and you can, I guess, electronically bail out without using any money.
What?
California will be the first state doing it.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So they didn't eliminate bail, just
They just redefined the parameters in
It's
which you can pay
electronic.
for it.
like
process.
bail bondsmen.
Yeah.
They eliminated that.
Yeah.
Really? So they
So
put a lot
you
of people
pay
out
Like
there.
an
directly
Uber
to the-
is the Uber of bail bonds.
Oh,
Oh, really?
gotcha.
Oh, it's like an app.
Right.
It's
I
like
don't
an
know.
app.
Well, they didn't say it was an app. They said that
It's electronic though.
they've eliminated where basically you can bail out without any money now.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. It's
Thank
no
you.
money.
niggas been doing that,
Yeah.
man. They call it an OR.
So,
The OR is a little different
wait a
because
minute,
now
Packet. Thank you for this information. There was absolutely no goddamn consequence or help to anybody.
Hey, I got something that's interesting.
it was
y'all
not
might
the-
wanna
it was
hear.
it's not an OR. If you listen, you will understand that it does help that people that's going to jail for crimes can actually bail out electronically without any money
If they
now.
take
and they
their
can get
ass-
out of town.
And it's not an OR. OR is still available.
Go get you one of these hats, ladies and gentlemen. That way your ass won't go to
So
jail.
you sorry niggas that been helping your parents lose a damn house from putting it up. You can get out of jail and skip town and don't have to worry about your parents losing the house. But I heard some interesting things on the Discovery Channel.
But make sure we got
with the
1 minute left.
Yeah, the conservation, you know, the people who save endangered species, what
Yeah,
they call that, a
Conservation Corps.
Yeah. They have listed a new species on the endangered species list.
Is it the Marshmallow Man?
No, it's called Black Women's Edges.
The Black Women's Edges.
Black Women Edges is listed on the endangered species list.
Yeah, we're going to start a GoFundMe page for
Black
some of these
Women's Edges.
Yeah, the edges, you know, because they're losing. They like to pull them with the braids and put too many fake hair in there and everything. So we really care about our black women and their edges. So please help people.
No, we can't.
Help the black people's edges.
We can't end without a little bit of sports. Odell Beckham has become the #1 wide receiver paid in the NFL.
Well, how much?
He's getting $65 million guaranteed with $95 on the contract.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that's what's what?
That's
Or
the
that's
what's what. What's what?
All right, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday from 7 to 8 on the Mad Marv Comedy Lounge. We want to thank our guest, Mr. Pooch.
Most
And
definite.
Yes.
Remember,
We got to have you back on, man.
sugar from nature is always fine, ladies and gentlemen. Sugar from nature.
And
is
please
always
give
fine.
me your information one more time in
What is
case
it?
they missed it, man.
DrPooch.com, DrPooch.com. Order your books now.
So let's get healthy.
Get them for
everybody.
your fat ass kids, and you might need them too with your fat ass.
Mr. Pooch, can we give all
cooking
these to
them neck
Packet?
bones.
Can we give all these to Packet?
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
if you see Marv
Maybe he can
anywhere,
eat the books.
don't
Are
let him
those
work on
edible?
anything.
Can you get some edible books for Packet?
This is the Mad Marv Comedy Lounge. Trap comedy at its finest. Where if you can't slang yourself, you might as well hang yourself. This is also where you can turn yourself into dope and you become the real man. Whoa, yeah.
First I hit 'em, and then I let 'em. Then I remix, rewind, then I wet 'em. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African-American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.